How's it going, guys? Dylan from Luxury Lives On, and I hope everyone's doing well today. Now, there's a really sad thing going on in the car world, or it has been for a long time. See, people don't drive their cars, and eventually we're all going to be underground, so that's a sad truth. But the other thing is, people don't know what cars are like when they're driven because no one really talks about it and no one's really experienced it. I did a video a little while ago on driving 40,000 miles in our BMW i8, and I told you, well, from an owner's point of view, what it's like in terms of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well, today we're in front of our Rolls Royce Phantom, another car that we thoroughly enjoy in this family, and, well, we've driven 50,000 miles in it. So today, I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly from an anecdotal point of view of owning a Rolls Royce Phantom. Alright guys, so the first great attribute about this car is the quality. And what I mean by that is, well, when you own a car and you actually drive it around, things get worn out. The seats will get ripped or the paint will fade. Well, with this car, there are layers and layers and layers of paint and clear coat on it, so if you do scratch it, you're able to really polish it out, and there's so much thickness and depth to it that it just always looks modern and never faded. I'll walk around it and show you it right now. This is actually called dark Curzon. It's like almost like a purple. Rolls Royce will yell at me and call it blue, but it looks purple to me. And you can just see, I mean, this is a car we really use, guys. We clean it ourselves. In fact, it took me about a couple days just cleaning this giant yacht. But it's got these red pinstripes as well. And this is actually for the 100th anniversary they made this color. And it's just on 35 cars. So you can see, looks great, a lot of depth, a lot of shine to it. And then on the interior, check out the driver's seat specifically. I mean, there's really not much wear in this. You have a little bit of creasing here just from our fat asses sitting on it. Steering wheel really doesn't have much wear on it. And you know, these are cars that you actually drive. In the past, Rolls Royces were obviously you're getting chauffeured in them. But now all the usage is in, well, the front seats. But when you're driving your friends around, they sometimes come back here. And again, not bad, just the usual creases and things like that. And then you obviously have the lamb carpets as well, which have actually faded a bit. I have to admit, that's one thing you'll encounter. You can see the color difference there. And they're scary to step on. And then obviously a little wear right here. But I mean, the car looks great. There's a lot of lacquer on the wood. That looks good. These are a pain in the ass because every piece of metal gets scratched. And in a Rolls Royce, they're not called chrome. It's called brightwork. And it's actual metal. It's not plastic. And it's very easy to scratch. If someone does this, oh, I cringe. Anyway, that is the exterior, and it's just an epic car. When you're buying a car like this, well, that's part of the package. You just get something epic. You get a grille like this that is just in your face, and it's just an occasion every time you drive it. Alright guys, so I just got finished telling you how pretty the car is, all the quality that goes into it, so that I could smack you in the face with this one. See, the engines on luxury and sports cars are usually a scary endeavor because they're usually high performance and large. This one is actually a 6.75 liter naturally aspirated V12, very fast, very powerful, and it can be very expensive. In fact, when the fuel filters go on these cars, and they do, it'll be $7 grand to fix them. One of the party tricks on this car is the center caps. They have a counterbalance that allows them to always stay upright unless they break. See, the funny thing is, this is an amazing car, but Rolls-Royce, I'm sure, had like some hilariously large division just working on these witchcraft wheel caps. In fact, when we're driving, we see people staring at us and we think we're important, but really it's just the wheel caps. But they have a couple issues. You see, anytime you put effort into something, it eventually has to break, especially if you care about it. And this happened with Rolls-Royce. When you're washing the car, these actually fog up, water leaks into them and the seals over time break or these pieces separate. And in addition to that, the counterbalance sometimes gets messed up like this one where it's not really turning. And then in addition to that, there actually gets little rocks stuck in here. And because it's always spinning, you're actually scratching it and you end up getting a hazy ring around here from it turning back and forth. Well, Rolls-Royce, it was good in theory. It was very good in theory. Now obviously this car has been out of production, the new ones come out, they've replaced the tires for different wheels, but we really like the original wheels, And the problem is with this whole thing is we use the car. And this is the one thing that for sure disappears as you use it. So how much are they? $500 a tire from Michelin. Except Michelin doesn't make them anymore. So you can get a set from Rolls Royce for $12,000. That's the big issue here. And not only that, you need a specific system to remove the tire. It's called the pack system, and it's the same system that removes the tires from the Bugatti Veyron. And there's only a couple shops, I think in California, that even have the system to do it. So you got to think, you know, is a Rolls Royce Phantom kind of affordable now secondhand? Sure, but can you afford to maintain it? I wouldn't. Alright, you're right. I've been a little too negative so far, so let me put these two broken pieces of our Rolls Royce aside for a second while I talk to you about the good stuff. Alright, so this car is incredibly luxurious. As I said, you know, you have about half a dozen or a dozen cows died for just the interior alone. Rest in peace. But it's very, very comfortable because of that, and a lot of trees had to die as well with the wood, and just the craftsmanship is incredible in the car. I've gone on in other videos about it. I'm not gonna, you know, bore you with it. But I mean, you have lambskin carpets. Everything is just luxurious and simple though. It's not overdone like a Maybach. It's very classy. It's Rolls Royce. And they're really cool, well, childish features in it as well. For instance, so God forbid it's raining. Well, they have a thought for that. They're actually umbrellas that pop out of the doors. And not only that, the umbrellas are Teflon coated, so actually water runs right off of it. And if that didn't work out, there's actually a drainage system in here to allow for the excess water to go away. And once you're done drying off your umbrella, well, you can sit in the car and you don't have to close it yourself. In fact, there's a button that helps you close it. James, I'm ready. James, where are you? We're going. James, I'm locked. Jeez. Oh, jeez. All right, this is not even a joke. That was not planned. That was not a joke. Sometimes the door also locks you in it. Oh, crap. Now I'm on the negative stuff again. All right, now on to some other ugly stuff. In fact, this paper is from, I think, yesterday or the day before we got the car back from another service. For $2,000. It was done. Oh, okay. So, that's why I have all these pieces lying around. This is a Rolls Royce iDrive. So this is the Rolls Royce version of the BMW iDrive. It goes right in the center here. There's a little thing that opens up. And basically you can control everything from there. Very, very expensive. In fact, oh, it was free because this is the second one we've had replaced. But there was another thing, a mirror. And no, it's not to look at my reflection because I can't. In fact, you can see how messed up it is. Basically what happens is over time, the Rolls Royce mirrors, I think a lot of the luxury cars actually, like the Arnages, Bentleys, things like that, they delaminate and get really screwed up. That was over $100 for a piece of plastic, most likely out of a BMW. That's one of the big problems. You know, it's a wonderful car. It is a reliable car. And also because BMW owns Rolls Royce, a lot of the reliability comes into it. Rolls Royce hasn't let their hands slip into everything from BMW. So, you know, it's very Rolls Royce, the company still. But you have a lot of reliability from that point of view because you have that German influence. But parts are expensive because you have that British influence. And that's, well, the problem sometimes. Alright guys, we are aboard the Rolls Royce. I wanted to take it for a drive and give you guys kind of a first-hand experience driving in the car, talk about a few of the things that you encounter while driving it. First things first, everyone stares at you. They think you're way more important than you probably are. Well, specifically me. Usually these cars are the cars for celebrities. Obviously the Phantom is a massive part of popular culture. All the rap videos. I won't rap for you. We'll save that for later, maybe in the credits. But obviously there's just a lot of awareness around this car. And not to mention just the design is incredible as well. It's imposing. It's 20 feet long, 6,000 pounds. It's like flipping driving a yacht. And it feels like that too. It's floaty, traditionally like a Rolls Royce would be. I mean, the handling's, I mean, it's good, but it's not, it's just like not a sports car, you know. It's not designed to be like that. So I mean, I feel like it's inaccurate for me to try to rate how it handles. It's kind of stupid, but it's floaty. It's very floaty. So I've already told you the handling is boat-like, but the acceleration is the opposite. I'll demonstrate now. In fact, there's a button here to put it in low gear because the car always starts out in second gear to make it more smooth. Ready? Jesus Christ. It's honestly really fast, guys. 5.7, 0 to 60. From something 6,000 pounds is just outrageous. But obviously it has that massive V12. And just seeing this car coming at speed past you is just a joke. It's hilarious. Other thing is it doesn't have a rev counter. It actually has a power reserve. So it'll tell you from 0 to 100% how much power you're using, because it's uncouth to tell you, well, the RPMs. Now, the last thing is silence is golden, right? And I think that's more for a movie theater. This car is kind of uncomfortably quiet. I'll open the window. Coincidentally, there's construction going on, which is a great example. And look, I'll close the windows. And it just cuts everything out. It's crazy. There's 2 pane glass windows. So essentially there's basically 2 pieces of glass stuck together to shut it up. In addition to that, there's 4 silencers on the exhaust. And obviously the floors as well are extra thick below, so you can't hear anything. And it's just literally, it's almost an isolating experience. It's kind of actually crazy. You know, you're not really aware of people staring at you. You're just relaxing. In fact, one of the other positives about this car is it will lower your blood pressure because, well, you just won't be stressed anymore. Now, the last positive is comfort. This car, it's like sitting on your grandmother's couch in a good way. It's very, very comfortable. It's a very thick, wide seat. Do a U-turn so I don't get run over, you flipping moron. Jesus Christ. And yeah, so it's a very comfortable car. The one really funny thing about it, this is like the one fault in the car, really, honestly. This thing right here, the center, if you touch it and put your arm down, it always pops up. It's like this incessant bad penny. It just always comes up and won't close. It's a really funny design flaw, but basically where you're supposed to naturally put your arm is on the button, and this happens often. Now the last issue for me is, you know, actually driving it. Where do you park it? You end up finding yourself, well, reparking, parking again, checking that you parked well in the first place. Was that a parking? Is someone gonna scratch it? Then you start profiling the people that are parked next to you. Well, they will park well, or are they gonna key you because they hate that you're driving a Rolls Royce? Well, if I park just right, maybe they won't hate me. Oh, what if I put a stuffed animal in, make them think I have kids? They'll hate me maybe less. You see, it's impossible. People are gonna be polarizing in this car. They're gonna love you, hate you, or just look at the car and move on with their lives. That's, well, the most hopeful one. But unfortunately, I'm going to root back to the original owner of this car. We are the second owners. He got it with no miles, obviously brand new. Put like 3,000 miles on it and never drove it. He spent like $600,000 with inflation on this car and never drove the car. And his answer was it was just too scary. It was too expensive. It was too big. It was too polarizing. You got too many looks. It was just too much. And it was just funny because he never really got to enjoy it. And, you know, is it a flashy car? Yeah. Is that, you know, is that fun? Sure. But when it comes down to it, it's just an exceptional car. It really is. And that's the shame, you know, and that's really the beauty of this 50,000 mile video, is it shows that the car has been, you know, relatively driven and enjoyed. And that's the point of all these cars, not to be corny, but the point is obviously to drive them, because, well, they're not going to drive themselves. I think I'm going to close the video off there because, well, the moon's kind of coming out right now. I've clearly enjoyed this car way too much today. But that's basically a sum up of all the good, the bad, and the ugly things about, well, owning a Rolls Royce Phantom. Now, guys, let me know if you have any other comments, suggestions. If you like the video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of my content, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.